It is a devastating reality. The number of deaths related to fentanyl in our county are growing at an alarming rate. That's according to the district attorney's office. In an exclusive interview, News Channel 3's Caitlin Thrope spoke with the DA and sat one-on-one with a grieving mother who lost her teenage son to fentanyl. We are learning more about the heartbreaking impact this drug is having on our community and the punishment for those involved with fentanyl.
Stephen was a hilarious kid who loved to smile, who loved to laugh. He had a heart of gold, he really did.
Jennifer's son, Stephen Loza, dreamed of being a firefighter, but at 18 years old, his life was cut short.
And as soon as she said, "I'm sorry," I knew what she was saying I'm sorry to.
In October, a police officer knocked on Jennifer's door to tell her that her son had died from a fentanyl overdose at a house in Indio.
My understanding from one of the boys that was there were 3 people with him that night.
Just 4 months later, Riverside County announced they were cracking down on fentanyl overdose cases.
Every death caused by fentanyl toxicity is being investigated as a potential homicide.
After watching our report, Jennifer contacted News Channel 3 to help bring justice to her son's case.
My son is responsible for what my son chose to put in his body. That is my son's responsibility. However, there were 3 people there. To me, the crime should be, and it should be a crime, if you are partaking in these activities with someone and you do not call for help out of fear of getting in trouble, that is the crime.
We asked the Indio Police Department and Riverside County District Attorney Mike Hestron why no charges were filed in Stephen's case.
When I said to you in February that every case would be investigated as a homicide, I believe that's true. I believe that across this county, every fentanyl poisoning case is being investigated for potential homicide charges. That's not to say that every case is going to get filed as a homicide, right? We have to be able to prove in court the charges that we file.
Was Stephen's case investigated as a potential homicide?
Yes, it was. We looked at what we had in the potential case, and there wasn't enough evidence to do a filing. So that doesn't mean it ends there. If something develops in the future that has enough evidence, or we discover that there's more than what we had and it could lead to a filing, then we'll be visiting with the district attorney's office again.
Unfortunately, Hestron says situations like Stephen's are all too common.
The number of cases we've looked into are numerous. Probably dozens of cases that are coming in or being investigated.
Since the announcement in February of this year,
I've gotten many letters.
Hestron has heard of many related tragedies. Riverside County prosecutors have brought 4 of those cases in front of a judge.
If they're charged with homicide and they get convicted of a second-degree murder, they're looking at life in prison.
In the past 3 to 4 years, Hestron says the percentage of fentanyl-related deaths have gone up 800% in Riverside County. In 2020, 227 people died from fentanyl.
I'm talking to parents every day that are losing their kids to fentanyl, to drugs, to mental health. These kids are cutting, they're depressed, they're full of anxiety. It's, we're tackling things from the wrong way. We're putting the cart before the horse. It's just not making sense. And it's not getting better, it's getting worse.
And the kind of pain from the loss of a child doesn't easily fade away.
What would you say to this mother who's still just in so much pain and just still seeking justice for her son?
I would say don't give up. I would say, first of all, know that you're not alone. There are so many families, unfortunately, going through this.
Caitlin Thrope, News Channel 3.
And to hear DA Hestron's full statement, head to our website, KESQ.com. Jennifer is turning her grief into something positive. She started a nonprofit called Ronnie's House for Hope, helping others deal with the loss of a loved one. You can also find more information about that, as well as resources for those struggling with mental health or a drug addiction, on our website.